Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're well. I've got my laptop pulled up right here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over with you guys 10 different fragrances that I think you should either buy or keep your eyes open for at FragranceBuy.ca for this January 2023. And this is something I plan on doing going forward for all the discounters and all the websites that I shop at, going through and just basically going from start to finish on every fragrance the website has and picking out some of my favorite deals to share with you. We've got some great stuff to talk about today. Discontinued fragrances, really cheap fragrances, great prices on niche, a lot of cool stuff. So let's jump into it. So again, guys, today's website, FragranceBuy.ca, it's not sponsored by them. I just went through the entire website basically and picked out, like I said, some of the deals that jumped out to me the most. I'll also do this for FragranceNet, FragranceX, Joma Shop, basically all the places that I shop, and let you guys know as the year goes on the things that are really popping as far as the prices go. And this is not Fragrance Buy related, but if you do shop at maxaroma.com or twistedlily.com, use the code GENTS10 for 10% off your order, good for the whole website. And again, each of these linked in the description below. All right, let's get it kicked off. The first fragrance is Versace Pour Homme. Now, Versace Pour Homme, of course, really well known for being a great, highly versatile fragrance for spring and summertime. Good compliment puller, great office fragrance. Smells similar to Missoni Wave, Chanel Allure Homme Sport. And right now on Fragrance Buy's website, they have a tester, 100 ml size bottle for $33.69. Now, by comparison, at FragranceNet, as of this video, with the 40% off coupon, it's $40.19. So not a huge savings there, but $6.50 difference between Fragrance Buy and FragranceNet for a full 100 ml size bottle. Obviously, you can get a ton of use out of that. The only drawback is that it's a tester, and with Versace testers, no cap. So that's really the only drawback. Some people are not going to care about that. Other people will. But still, that's really good savings. Because if you look at the full presentation, 100 ml size, it's $51.61. So pretty good amount off there, almost 20 bucks. The next fragrance that you should look at in terms of deals currently on Fragrance Buy's website is Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. Now, Night Vision Eau de Toilette was not a fragrance that a lot of people liked very much. It got a lot of hate, a lot of flack thrown its way because it wasn't, frankly, spicy enough, and it came across as like Viktor & Rolf's attempt at an Invictus fragrance. So yeah. Then a year later, you had Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum come out, which is basically an improvement over the Eau de Toilette in every single way that you could imagine. I think that it's smoother, it's a little bit spicier, which helps with the name. It's still a great compliment puller, really nice evening fragrance, good versatility, not quite as overtly youthful as the EDT. And right now you can get a 50 ml bottle for $58.77. And that's the full presentation, not a tester. And this is actually a really, really good deal because this one runs typically between $75 and $83 right now for the same size 50 mils. So you're saving basically between $20 and $25 for this as compared to what other discounters have it at right now. The next one is probably the thing that I got most excited for just because I'm really into discontinued fragrances, and it's 1 Million Cologne from Paco Rabanne. Now, for a long while, you could find 1 Million Cologne easily at discounters. Even after it was discontinued, you could still find it for quite a while. And it was typically going for a pretty good price when you compare it to the other 1 Million fragrances. But then as time went on and stock ran out, 1 Million Cologne became harder to find. And right now, it's not easy. At least at discounters, it's typically sold out everywhere, and it has been for a while. But it doesn't say that they have only a few bottles of it. It's just a normal listing here, so I'm assuming that they have at least a decent amount to go around for now. So it's a 75 ml size, a full presentation of 1 Million Cologne for $51.61. So this is a great discontinued scent to add to your collection. Very wearable. Obviously, with this being 1 million cologne, it's more of a spring, summertime fragrance. It's a nice one that has a bit of a rosy freshness to it. I actually do think it's really pleasant. It's one that I wore years back when it came out, and even after it was first announced as discontinued, I still pulled it out from time to time. I've always enjoyed it. So 1 million cologne, if you're looking for a pretty affordable discontinued fragrance, pick that up. So when I shot this video, everything was in stock, but then some things came out of stock. So that's why it's me from the future checking it. So one of the fragrances that I had in this video originally was Mercedes-Benz Club Black. FragranceBuy had that for under 40 bucks. Great deal. And a lot of you obviously thought so too, because it sold out. But I did find something else on the website, which is worth mentioning, and it's also a fragrance that has black in the name, and it is Luna Rosa Black. Now this one has been hard to find at discounters for a minute. And by a minute, I mean a really long time. The price is $95 US, right around 95 anyway, at FragranceBuy. Again, that's gonna fluctuate depending on the conversion rate between Canadian and US dollars, but right around there. Yes, that's not a really cheap deal for Luna Rosa Black, but with how hard that is to find at any discount nowadays, it's worth bringing up. And of course, Luna Rosa Black, one of my absolute favorite designer fragrances that have been released in the past, I don't know, number of years really. I think it's a really good one that stands out from the crowd, has some throwbacks to Midnight in Paris and Bulgari Black. It's a compliment puller, but a very different type of compliment puller. Dark, a little bit sweet, mysterious, little touch of powder. Love Luna Rosa Black, so I wanted to bring that one up in place of Mercedes-Benz Black. So if you've been wanting Luna Rosa Black, it's a good time to pick it up. Next up is some fragrances from Itat Liberty. Now, it's not a house that everybody is going to love. Some of their fragrances are really divisive. Some are harder to wear. Others are super easy to wear. But there's some great pickups from this house on FragranceBuy's website right now. Do keep in mind though, that most of these, or really all of them at the lower price points, are going to be 30 ml size bottles. So they're going to be pretty small 1 ounce bottles. But that is a great way to pick these up, add them to your collection, get enough that you can get a lot of wear out of them, and expand that collection on the cheap. And then also, if they don't work for you, if you're blind buying them for whatever reason and you just don't like it, you're not out that much money. So as an example, they have cologne for $25.82. I love that one for spring and summer. I think it's really well done. It's kind of like a classier, higher end take on something like Mugler cologne to an extent, or Neroli Portofino, things like that. They have the Ghost in the Shell for $29.47, one of the newer fragrances that of course got a lot of hype behind it because of the subject matter. They've got Fat Electrician for a little over $33. They have I Am Trash on there. They actually have some that are right near $20. So check that out. Just basically everything from the house. Some of them you can get for mad cheap right now. After that, a very inexpensive fragrance under $20. And now it's not just really cheap on FragranceBuy, it's really cheap elsewhere also, but the price is ever so slightly less on FragranceBuy right now. It's Calvin Klein's Eternity for Men cologne. It is the tester for $18.19. So this is one of those fragrances that you could basically just throw into your cart, not spend that much money, and get something that works really well during spring and summer. Now, with this being a tester, it doesn't really matter with this bottle because there is no cap. The atomizer is built into the bottle, so the tester bottle is going to look the exact same as the normal bottle. You just won't get the box or the normal box. So for this one, I wouldn't care that it's a tester. A lot of times, if I can get a fragrance that is of this style where the atomizer is built in and I save substantial money by getting the tester, I'll just get that. So Eternity for Men cologne. This came out a couple years ago in 2020. Well, I guess a few years ago now. It's a nice fresh one. I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into with it being a Calvin Klein Eternity on the cheap. Don't go into it expecting it to be supernatural smelling or anything. Supernatural? You know what I mean. Not ghostly, but not overly natural. It's very fresh, and you have some fresh spiciness to it as well. And it's a very easygoing type of scent. And really at that price point, essentially, it's just kind of a no lose. You're getting 100 mils for under 20 bucks. So that's a really cheap designer. Now let's go to some niche fragrances that are definitely more expensive, but that's a big old juicy button right here. These are niche fragrances at an amazing price. Xerjoff. Some of the Xerjoff fragrances right now on FragranceBuy are priced super competitively. Now, some people have already caught on to this, and some of the bigger fragrances have sold out. So Naxos, as of when I'm filming this, is sold out. The new Iomi is sold out. So I apologize for that, but there is still some good stuff there. And just to give you the pricing of what those were at, Naxos was $142 US, and Tony Iommi was $132. Yeah, oof. Good prices. Now, as of this video, you can get a 50 ml size bottle of Neo for about $125. I know $125 is not cheap, but when you compare that to the price of FragranceNet, what they have Neo at, ooh, it's not close. $125 at FragranceBuy, $208 at FragranceNet. So yeah, big savings there. And it's not just Neo, they have other fragrances there that are pretty popular from the house that are also marked off heavily. Apollonia is like 109, I think just under 110, so even cheaper than Neo. And a lot of other fragrances from Xerjoff are marked off quite a lot right now. When you look them up, most of them say like strict limit of 1 or 2. So keep that in mind. Like you can't go on and buy 10 bottles of Neo if you wanted to. But a lot of these are marked off quite a bit. As I said, they have been picked through a little bit. So some of these Xerjoffs are sold out, some of the ones that you might really want, but overall still some great deals. Let's keep it moving and do some Dunhill fragrances. Now those Xerjoffs I included as 1 entry. These Dunhills will be 1 entry. You can get Agar Wood from the Dunhill Signature Collection for under $65. I think technically it's $64.89, so just under 65 as I said, but it is a great fragrance, and especially at that price point, you're getting a big win there. Now I've harped on the Signature Collection a few times because at the price point, you're typically making out like a bandit. Like the quality is much higher than the price at discounters would reflect. Now, if you buy it at full retail, it's a different story. It's still really solid, but then it makes more sense, you know, the quality versus what you're paying. You're like, okay, this makes sense. But when you get it at that steep discount, you're like, woof, way better than I expected. So Agar Wood, this one has iris, suede, oud, tobacco, saffron, pink pepper. Another great one for fall and winter time. And this scent is going to remind you a bit of Tom Ford ombre leather, of Tuscan leather to an extent as well. Kind of in that wheelhouse, not the exact same as either of those, but in that style. So if you like those, you should like this. And then also from Dunhill, Icon Elite. The pricing on this fragrance has dropped so low, it's gotten goofy. I feel bad for Dunhill to an extent, but yeah, Icon Elite, the pricing has gotten silly on this. A 50 ml size bottle, under 20 bucks, $18.44. Yeah. Oof, sorry Dunhill. I guess when it rains it pours for them. Their pricing is just like bottoming out at discounters. But this is another one that's much higher quality than that price point would suggest. And it's not just cheap at FragranceBuy. This one has been dropping across the board, but that 50 ml price point is really the sweet spot, I think. Under $20, can't go wrong. Another one better for fall and winter. You could wear it during the spring as well. A woody scent with some bitter orange and spice. Then we've got from Penhaligons Endymion for under $125, right at $124 and some change. Now, this one at this point is really hard to find at discounters. Penhaligons in general, hard to find at discounters. And that's a bummer because if you go back 6, 7, 8 years ago, Penhaligons were everywhere at discounters. And if you bought testers of Penhaligons, you could pick those up a lot of times for like $40, $40, $50. And I know that's not what Penhaligons wants you to hear because that doesn't sound good for the brand when you say, oh, yeah, it's retail, you know, almost $200, but you can get it from from $40 over here. They don't want to hear that. And they really appear to have tightened up that distribution. They aren't at discounters very often anymore. Like I said, a lot of the fragrances have been discontinued as well. This is one of their bigger fragrances, as lavender and coffee, one of their more popular scents. And typically you're gonna find this for $165 to $170 nowadays, because again, it doesn't pop up at discounters often. So to see it at FragBuy for a bit less than that is worth checking out if you want the scent. Now, a couple more I'm gonna go over with you guys. One more Xerjoff. Now, this one I didn't mention before. It's Alexandria II, Alexandria II. This one is going for $161.57. That's for a 50 ml size bottle. Now, FragranceNet has this as a 100 ml, not a 50, 100, for $370.49. And the retail of this at a 100 ml size is $550. I believe retail for the 50 ml is $325. So you're getting it for roughly half off. Really, really good pricing there. $161.57 the price on that one. And then last fragrance that you may want to be aware of here for January 2023 is a clone fragrance with probably the worst name that I think that you could possibly ever make a fragrance. It's bad. It's, yeah, really terrible name, horrible name. The name of the fragrance is Youre Drugged. Yeah, you are drugged. Youre Drugged from Paris Corner. Again, a clone fragrance. I don't think I probably need to go into detail about why that's a bad name. There are some serious implications with the name of a fragrance being Youre Drugged. But in spite of that, it's a $32.42 as of this video clone of by Kilian's Intoxicated. And it's a pretty good one. Paris Corner, for the most part, has been doing a good job with their clone fragrances of late. The only drawback with this one is gonna be the performance could be amped up a bit. So it's not gonna be as strong as the Kilian. It's not gonna project or last as long as the Kilian. That's gonna be the drawback. It's gonna be the fly in the ointment. Of course, with this being pretty affordable, 32 bucks and some change, you can spray it on heavily, you know, try to get a little more out of it that way, spray it on your clothes, whatever. But if you're looking for a good alternative to that Kilian, worth checking out. So there we go, guys. 10 different things that you should be shopping for at FragranceBuy this January. Like I said, I'll be doing this for the other sites, FragranceNet, Joma Shop, FragranceX, etc. And when I find really good deals, whether it's compared to other discounters and stores, you know, being much less, noticeably less than other ones, or getting in fragrances like 1 Million Cologne that very often are not in stock anywhere, I'll let you guys know. Thank you all for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.